Hello and welcome to today's Blab with Laura Rubinstein, myself, and the wonderful Dr. Rhoberta Shaler. And today we're going to be blabbing about, are truly powerful men afraid of powerful and successful women? I like that topic. I've gotten that question a lot of times, Roberta, so I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. So, I often hear successful women say, I don't think men are attracted to powerful women like me. Or other times, women do the opposite. It's like they think they have to hold back from stating their ideas or objections in the workplace for fear of being, rejected or repelling their colleagues or criticized or being seen as a troublemaker when what they want to do or be is a leader. So let's tackle those areas of issues with being a powerful woman. Sound good?
Yeah, well, sure. First of all, I want to say that you don't live your life for other people or concerned about other people. When you're talking about, oh, well, I'm afraid that men won't like me or whatever that you were mentioning, the various things. First of all, if you've done your own work, if you know who you are, if you have good communication skills, if you have good conflict management skills, if you're personable and you're demonstrating your values and your vision for your life all the time, the only thing that you have to do is live. But when you are concerned about, am I good enough or won't they like me or whatever, you're already demonstrating that you need to get a little help with that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So the key phrase is that identify people who might want to look a little deeper into themselves. What would you say they're saying? So is it like
the people who need to look a little deeper?
Yeah. What are
Well, I think if you have any fear at all in your life, you need to look a little deeper.
Fear? Mm-hmm.
Fear, sure. Because you're allowed to live out loud as long as you're not overpowering anybody else and on purpose, right? But if you overpower somebody, or you think, or someone is overpowered, not your problem. But if you are overpowering someone, that is your problem. If someone feels overpowered by you, they can communicate with you and you can work it out. But if you're concerned that someone is feeling overpowered by you, that's your key and your red flag to pull back and have a look at what are you really doing.
So if someone has a fear of overpowering others, then what do they do?
Then they have to have a look and say, where does this fear come from? What evidence and reality do they have that that's actually the case? Is it just a concern or is it a measurable fact? And what are you using to judge that with? Are you looking at people who are, in this case, truly powerful? Or are you looking at people who are pretending to be powerful? Because we have a whole second category that we also have to accommodate. Some people like to put on the airs and graces of being powerful, and it's not something that they actually are. They think some title gave it to them. So are we talking about really honest people who are very powerful? Probably not in either case, if there are these fears coming up. And I know that sounds harsh, but if those fears are coming up, the job is within you. The battle is within you, not out there.
So if one has a fear of, oh my gosh, I might be overpowering, so I feel like I have to hold back, but I'm not sure if I'm overpowering. Right?
Yes.
This is the things we do to ourselves.
Right.
Maybe we need to back up and say, what is it mean to be powerful? What does a powerful person look like? Healthy, powerful, not overpowering.
Yeah, a healthy, powerful person knows who they are, knows what they're creating in life, knows how to do it, and knows how to solve problems. And they're not overstepping any boundaries of other people. They're very clear about expressing and maintaining their own boundaries. And they know what they're going for, and they're not going towards what they're going for by crawling over other people. They're going on their own path, doing their own thing. It's not, people are not powerful in the true sense of the word. And I like the fact that you put the word truly in the title. In the true sense of the word, power is given to you. You don't become powerful in the sense that you're looking at someone and say, well, they're a really powerful person. A title doesn't give you power. Who you are and how you are in the world is powerful. But it's not a commodity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, Laura. It's not a commodity. We think that it is. Just because someone's your boss, yes, they have power over you. But you give them that power over you by your position, and you work with it, and you work within the structure of it, and you accommodate things, and then you move on. You move up, hopefully. So I think, we have to be a little bit clear about what we're going to talk about in the short time we have together.
Yeah, I mean, so many people are like, I'm a strong woman. Men aren't attracted to strong women.
Some men are.
Is that the case? I mean,
no. And those generalities are things that hold you back. Those generalities are causing you to make a generalized statement and say everything is like this, and therefore my life isn't what I want it to be. That's not it. You can do your own work, look inside yourself, find out what you really want to express, learn how to express it, and be powerful in your own right.
Hey, props. Not make an excuse. It sounds like when I hear someone saying they just don't like strong women, or I'm just too strong. It feels like an excuse to ram through, and
it's also an excuse for why you don't have a man in your life.
Right, exactly.
It's not just because you're a powerful woman, it's because something that you're doing is not attractive to the men that you hope to attract, and maybe you're not clear about which men you hope to attract.
So it seems like if I shirk it off and I say, oh, I'm just too powerful, men don't like women who are strong like me, then I don't have to do anything. Like what do
you want a guy who thinks that for?
Exactly. Right.
what this whole thing is such an incredible construct. I mean, if you meet a fellow and you are living in authenticity with who you are and what you want and what you value and what you believe, you want a man who appreciates you for that. You're not up to jumping through his hoops because he's supposedly powerful. Give your head a shake.
So let's talk about what's a truly powerful man, as opposed to someone you feel like you have to not perform for, I guess.
That's exactly it, Laura. It's a performance. If you're thinking in the paradigm that you've been putting forward, it's all about a performance. You have to have your own criteria. What kind of a man would you like to have in your life? And how are you being in the world that would attract such a man? You don't kind of eye one up over there and say, oh, he looks powerful. Let me figure out how to engage him. Because, 10 minutes down that road, you're going to disappoint. He's not going to be as powerful as you think he is. And the whole thing's going to blow up. This paradigm does not work.
Yeah, or you're constantly on a rat wheel trying to perform the way you think you should. And it just is like crazy making, and it's like, stop the insanity. If you want to live sanely, you've got to be authentic. Like you said, if I'm getting this right, be yourself. Know who you are, what you want, the man you want. If you're a woman, the woman, vice versa. If you're a guy, right? And stop making excuses for not having what you say you want. You're actually having what you want when you say, I'm too strong to have a powerful guy.
Let's take a really simple example. I have a friend who lives in a large city, and she says to me, oh, there just aren't any single guys here.
Really?
Are you kidding? I mean, you live in a city with more than 500,000 people, and you're telling me there are no single guys. It's the same kind of belief. If she believes that there are no single guys, then she won't be looking for one. You know, she's just living in that place. The reason I don't have anybody is there's nobody here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we take that simplistic thing and we just add a few adjectives to it,
Yes.
well, I'm a powerful woman, and there aren't any powerful men. And if there were powerful men, they wouldn't be attracted to me. And you know what? Now, I'm not going to discount the fact that there is a phenomenon that goes on, that powerful men seem to some caveat, some powerful men don't want powerful women. They want trophy wives. Okay. Take that part out. You know, they just want you to look good on their arm for a photo op or something. But I'm talking about powerful from within, not from without. And I hope that that's what our conversation is around. Somebody who has strength in their life, someone who knows who they are, someone who knows where they're going. And they're going to be attracted to you if you know who you are, you know where you're going, and you demonstrate that. But there's a weakness in saying, how do I please a powerful man so he'll like me?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm already off the mark.
Right. And same thing in the work situation. How do I be a leader, a woman leader, without looking like a troublemaker? You know, how does a woman get over that?
Well, that's a huge topic. Maybe we need to talk about that one day. I mean, where do we get the idea that a woman expressing and experiencing who she is as a woman with values and as a woman with ideas and innovation and leadership skills, where do we get the idea that she is a troublemaker when she expresses that? See, it isn't the case. Anybody can be authentic and express who they are, and then they will be able to be seen in that way. And yes, there will be some people who are threatened by them, and there will be people who will react to them and try and stay on the top of the heap and not be collaborative. But we have to be very, very careful about what we're talking about, because it's not being a troublemaker if you can point out that you can help someone see a better and more innovative way that they can go. And you can certainly go to someone and say, you know, I had a thought or two that I thought might be interesting to you, without going and saying, hey, I think we should do it this way, right? It's all in presentation.
So I think that's very important to note is, what is the appropriate, maybe you can mute while I'm talking.
Yeah. If I knew how to do that, I would.
Okay. So we'll just wait for the ringing, because that's one of my boundaries.
That's the whole joy of being in my office and doing this, is I can't turn the phone off, but it'll stop now. So
great. So what I want to know is, so what, you know, there are different tactful ways to be powerful, I guess, is what I just heard in what you were saying. It's like, how do you approach people? Do you approach them in a room and you're embarrassing somebody else, and then you think you're powerful, and that's why people cringe at the sight of your contributions, even though you have a great idea for, you know, improving something and being collaborative, but it's not, what is it to be a collaborative leader?
Well, I mean, there's just so much in this topic as we're uncovering it just right now, but it's how you do things. It's how you express things. You know, when I wrote the book Kaizen for Couples, Smart Steps to Save, Sustain, and Strengthen Your Relationship, I give a key piece in there that I also teach when I'm speaking to workplace groups and doing trainings, because you have to learn to speak from a point of authentic authority within yourself. I'm feeling this way. I'm thinking this. I wonder if this is a good idea. And you don't talk about them at all. Just talk about what's going on within you. That's non-threatening. Now, of course, there's going to be a small corner of people who are threatened by anything that they didn't think of. But that's a whole other matter. And for people who are hijackals, which we've discussed in other blabs that we've done. But when you present yourself well and comfortably and in a straightforward manner that is thoughtful, and you are not trying to tell other people what to do, but you're contributing to the conversation, That's the basic way that you make a difference. And I think so many people don't have the actual strong communication skills they need in order to do this in a way that they can be heard.
Mm. How does one learn those communication skills?
Well, you know what I'm going to say. Talk to me.
Okay, great.
Because I deal with communication skills in a very different way. And when I'm training people or when I'm working one-on-one with people, I can help them tweak that so that they can come from that authentic place. And they're not looking for power over anybody. They're empowered from within because they know that they are competent and capable, and they develop confidence that they can bring anything up without having someone else go, no, we're not going to go in that direction. And
Right.
these are very highly honed skills that every single person can have. And sometimes I do webinars and trainings in that regard. But, I really invite people who have a great interest in doing this to use my complimentary half-hour relationship relief consultation. And just go to my website at forrelationshiphelp.com. You'll see it there. And if you really want to learn these skills, do it. You can't start any younger. And for heaven's sakes, get as many skills as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these skills are, they take time to learn. You have got to practice them. It's things like setting boundaries. It's things like identifying what's authentic for you versus what you're reacting to as I don't want to deal with this kind of thing. What else do we have?
Well, people get fearful. You see, if somebody has another idea and they speak up, and I didn't have an idea that was as good as that, maybe I'm going to get a reaction from them. I have to learn how to calm those waters. That's communication skills. I need to learn to be able to say, I think I can use inclusive language. I think this is something we could do. I think it's in our best interest if we consider this idea, don't you? Nobody's going to say, well, no, I don't want to do that. So you have to learn some ways to communicate. And that's where you get your power.
Yeah, come from a partner model versus a
collaborative model.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be collaborative, to say, how can we make this the best? Not how can I have power over you?
Yes. I think it's when you take the idea of power off the table that it becomes more authentic and powerful, actually.
I think so too. I'm much more delighted when people want to discuss how do I empower myself, how do I empower my team, rather than talk about power in general.
Right.
Because power is status. I just read the most interesting thing this morning that my husband gave me to read, and it's the Atlantic Monthly. And there's an article in the October edition, which is out right now, and it's called Are Bosses Really Necessary? And Zappos has a brand new model, and they're doing things very differently. So when you look at power, like now they're talking about collaborative power there at Zappos, as opposed to power over anybody. I mean, do you really need those kinds of hierarchies? Very interesting direction.
And so they are looking more at collaboration than somebody being in a superior role. That's very...
And telling other people what to do.
Yeah, very cool. What a paradigm shift,
Huge.
It's radical. Totally.
And of course, there's lots of people going, oh no, we're not going to have any of that. And those are the people who are fearful and need those roles in order to feel powerful, even though they're not authentically powerful.
Right. One of the things...
of course, their salaries will go down too.
Yes, that's always a threat, which would cause a reaction of a threat to their power, their status, really. So there's power that's status, and then there's personal empowerment, which is about clarity, knowing what you want, who you are, and being able to have the communication skills to connect with others to work towards a goal, it sounds like. And hopefully it's a common goal. The word that keeps coming to mind for me is intention. It's like, are you aware of what your intention is in a conversation, in a communication, and instead of reacting to a fear or a feeling.
Exactly. And I would say that beyond attention, it's consciousness. What am I bringing to this table? Who am I being right now? And how am I demonstrating that by my communication?
Mm.
And that's powerful, is when you know who you are and you can express it, and you're not going out there in fear, and you're not standing over people, hovering over them, or walking over them.
Mm.
Right? It's a collaborative. You and I are the same. It's kind of the namaste of business.
Mm-hmm.
We are both human beings, and we both have fears and anxieties and joys and tribulations and flaws and perfections, and we all have that. So let's just work from that basis and come together, right? And if we think that we are going to get our power by jumping over somebody or blaming somebody or manipulating somebody, then we have to look at our hijackal potential. We may have some of that. And most of those things come from fear. And if you can identify that, yeah, I'm afraid, you just get some help. It's a corner you can turn. You just need outside neutral eyes and some training to help you.
That's awesome. Again, that training and neutral eyes and really great resources you've got here. I love that conscious intention, knowing where you're coming from. And it's great to come to the conversation fully aware, also fully aware of who are you dealing with, right? In the room, like you said, there's this hijackal trap. You could either be, if you're coming from fear, you might be the cause of that, but there may be other people in the room that are the cause of that. And then that should inform also your communication skills. And we talked about those.
How to respond.
Yeah.
How to respond appropriately. I'd just like to go back to the title of our talk today. Truly powerful men and powerful women. Truly powerful men have nothing to prove. Truly powerful women have nothing to prove. They are. They be, if you like. And when we get caught in using language like that, let's just be very conscious of what we're talking about here, that there is fear involved. And two things I'd like to bring up in that regard. One of them is that a powerful man, a truly powerful man, a truly powerful on the inside man is not at all bothered by a powerful woman. In fact, that's what he wants, a partner, a mate, a power mate.
In fact,
somebody he can talk to on the same level, interested in similar things or has similar values. And if that's not happening, then that's not what you want anyway. And the other side of that is sometimes when women try to be powerful, they turn into the worst of men. And they think they have to. And you don't. We have words for that, like dragon ladies and other enticing terms that rhyme with witches. And when you think you have to do that in order to be powerful, you are so mistaken. There is no power in that. None at all. So if anybody has ever told you that you fall in that category, I hope that you will recognize that you just don't have to be there. There are ways to be powerful that do not require treading over anyone.
Mm. Yeah. And I love what you said about powerful men want to be in partnership with powerful women. And it's not like they have that conscious thought, because like you said, they just are. Mm-hmm. They're people who want people of similar values and a partner, to talk through things. And they are not threatened by these women. They crave them. They are so lit up and, so excited by them, actually. So it's quite the contrary is what I've seen. And, so if I hear, and tell me if you agree with this, if I hear a woman saying, I'm too powerful for the men I'm meeting.
Give them my card.
Give them your card, yes. I really hear you're too scared to take that. You're too scared of who you really are. You're hiding. You're hiding from yourself, and you're hiding from men. And it's really hard to see that, I think, for someone who's saying that.
Yeah, and powerful men don't want you on their coattails or in their bank account, right? They want a partner. They
Right.
don't want a woman who's after them for their money or their status. I mean, that's easy, but a truly powerful man says, no, I want a playmate that is as powerful as I am, as thoughtful as I am, as educated as I am, as interested in life as I am. That's what they want, a true partner.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can recognize that, then we need to be all of those things ourselves, and we will attract a powerful man from an internal, authentic power base.
Yes. So we have a question that's kind of along the same lines of what you just answered, but let's say it maybe in another way. So the question is, do you think that some women can't have a proper relationship with a man because the woman is too powerful? In other words, it's like two alphas in the relationships almost. What do you have to say about two alpha people in a relationship?
Well, if you're thinking alpha as two leaders, then you have to make a blend. You have to find a way that you actually fit like this, right? If you're fitting like this or like this, no, it's not going to work. But yes, two people who are very strong can do that. One of the problems that does happen is particularly when they're going through life at the point where they're childbearing years, often there are big discrepancies there about what power really is. Mm-hmm. I think making a strong decision based on your values that one person does the childcare and one person moves forward is not lacking in any power for the one who does the childcare. I think that is an incredible model that you can, in fact, work all these things out. But sometimes if you have someone, particularly someone who falls in the hijackal arena, and they can't manage that at all. Their fear completely cannot manage that, and so it's not possible. But I understand the question. Someone says, in short, the answer to your question is no. I don't think so. No, you can have a relationship.
Right.
It's all in your mindset. And in the work that you do on yourself. And I can't strike that enough into the hearts of everybody is do your own work first. And that's what truly powerful women have done. They're not looking for power over anyone. They are just looking to express who they are, to express what they have to give. And they do it in ways that encourage people and include people and all. A truly powerful man does the same thing. It's very attractive, very attractive.
It's a gift to look inside yourself and to bring that out into the world. I mean, it's the gift you give yourself, and that keeps on giving, and that ensures that you are having the relationships you want. If you're not looking at yourself, then you're going to be at the effect of your fears.
Well, you will be. You're always at the mercy of your fears. Mm-hmm. You have to deal with them. You know that in the work that you do too. When you're helping people overcome fears, that's something that everyone needs to do. Who wants to walk around fearful?
Yeah, and we do it like it's subconscious fears we don't even think about. We just are in reaction to. So if you hear yourself saying these questions or thoughts or why can't I have the relationship I want, start turning it around and say, what is it in me that's so afraid? Where is this fear? And, fear is like this natural response. I have a favorite quote. Tell me if you like this, Rhoberta. It's, don't let fear run your life unless you're in physical danger. Then run for your life.
Exactly.
So yeah. I want to encourage everyone to work through fears and not deny that you have fears. I think we all have fears. I think our fears don't have to run ourselves. But when we catch ourselves being run by them, it's an awesome time to say, woo, I'm afraid. What am I afraid of? Oh my gosh. Should I go and read something? Can I journal something? Can I go to Rhoberta's site? And kind of just go dive into it. It's a rich time. That's why I named my company Transform Today. It's because I know the power of looking at oneself, and it may feel kind of icky, but it's better than being run by that fear all the time. And then, Rhoberta, you and I have these amazing conversations of how transforming fear, based upon intention and good communication skills and just truth telling to yourself is, and then having some wise resources that really guide you, navigate you through your fear to the other side of what your heart of heart wants.
Yeah, and let me say something about fear. When you recognize you have a fear, have a good sit down with yourself and get quiet and comfortable, and then you ask yourself, what evidence and reality do I have that this fear is actually accurate? Because much of our fear comes from our past. And we may be in a new situation with new people, and yet we're bringing that forward. And that's what I mean a lot, Laura, when I talk about do your own work. I was saying to some people the other day, I wish I could have every 21-year-old in the world come to class for 6 months so that they can look at everything they have in their big Santa bag of emotional baggage and say, where did I get this? Which pieces do I want to keep? Which pieces do I want to leave behind? And they think it through, and they start to develop who they really are. Because that's the critical time when we've been given all of this stuff, while we went through all the levels of brain growth and everything. And, that's a whole topic about brain growth, knowing that you don't even have the full capacity of your prefrontal lobes until you're 12 years old, the centers of reason and logic. I mean, so you look at all that's been put into us, it's like the absorbent nature of strawberries. They just pick up everything. And did you pick up things that were pesticide free and they're organic now? Or did you pick up a whole lot of things that are actually toxic to you? And you need to sift and sort. And often you need help to sift and sort because you don't know what's in there and you don't know what meaning it has. So ask yourself, is it a fear that is actual in this moment? Is it some that's been inherited or adapted or adopted from before? And is it actually real? Because in this moment it may not. And I love, from years and years ago, Tolly Birkin gave the acronym for fear, false evidence appearing real. And we have to look at that.
Yep. And there's another one, forgetting everything's all right.
That's
the way
true.
to calm yourself down. So I'm laughing because when you said, have you picked up pesticides and things that are toxic to you? It's almost like this is the relationship or emotional detox program. That it's time to do for yourself. If you're going to detox physically, it's also good to do it emotionally because we are susceptible to pesticides and pests and things.
But you can't not be, Laura, because you don't have the brain capacity to figure all that out. Think of the 5 years that you spent in your home when you didn't even have language. What did you pick up, right?
But energetically pick up that is not even conscious because there was no thought, there was just feeling. So you have these feeling reactions. Yeah, and it's like, we're growing a garden now and I'm seeing these young leaves getting attacked. The older leaves are not, but the young leaves are way more susceptible. So it's a fabulous analogy.
It's a great analogy. And that's why, my answer several times has been, and I know that it could be seen as self-serving, but I don't intend it to be. Every one of us can take the opportunity of getting some help. We can't know everything. We can't be an expert in everything. Some people like me have spent their life helping other people have a better life or a better relationship. Get some help from one of us, right? That's what we do. Then you can go on and be a better attorney or a gardener or a homemaker or whatever you choose to do. That's what you're spending your time and energy doing. So I tell people when they say to me, well, what do you really do? I say I'm a life mechanic. People bring their life to me and say, what do I do with this? It's not running well.
Or a gardener. Now using the pesticide, you're a life organic gardener.
Whatever the metaphor that works, is important. And it's possible I always say that relationship consulting is for strong people. Weak people don't come. Strong
Mm.
people come who say, I want this to be better. I want this to go away. I want to know how to do this well. I'm carrying something, I don't know what it is, and I need some help to get rid of it. That's what strong
Yeah.
people do because they play on their own team.
Yeah, whenever I see a hypnosis client, in fact, it's such a gift and an honor. I see them as such a brave person for being willing to do that introspection and receive kind of a reboot in a
Right.
sense. And it is an honor. It is a privilege to work with people on this level, on this authentic level. And it is a truly brave act to feel the fear and come in and let's deal with it. But we can, years ago, a therapist told me the way to transform fear into excitement is through breath. So
Mm-hmm.
breathe into it. And, I want to encourage everybody to take that step, even if it's just simply go to Rhoberta's site, take a look around, see if anything there can inform you in a new way. Because I know, Rhoberta, you have just incredible information that makes people think. And then it creates an opening for something different. So if you're tired of the way things are, or you're looking for some new spark or life into an area of your life, it's just, just you're here, you're seeking out that information. So kudos, go for it.
Yeah. And to wrap up the topic, authentically powerful women want to be with authentically powerful men, and authentically powerful men enjoy authentically powerful women. You can work out the stuff of the relationship, but it's who you are, the two of you getting into the relationship, that makes it possible to work out the stuff.
So go out and be authentically powerful. I love using the word powerful to mean full of power already, like power, Full. A
Mm-hmm.
hyphenated word, powerful, because that's what each and every one, we're like this battery with potential energy of all this awesome that we can ignite into the world. So
Yeah.
it's been a privilege and an honor to be here with you and with the people who are joining in. And thank you for your props. Feel free, if you like this, give us props. If you have any other suggestions as to what questions you have, we'd like to see us answer on future Blabs, we welcome you to contact us at our websites, to join us, or put in the comments, anything you'd like to see. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again, Rhoberta, for your wisdom. We'll be back again real soon.
Thank you, Laura. Bye.